You're Mr. Florida.
Florida.
You're a Florida guy. Talk to me about what's going on down there in Broward County. You've been writing about voter irregularities and particularly the disparity between votes for the governor's race versus votes for the senator's race. What's happening?
Well, it appears that Broward's ballot was poorly designed for a number of people because it had a disproportionate number of what are called undervotes in the Senate race. That is, normally the top of the ticket big races like the Senate race and the governor's race are going to get more votes than the down ballot races like the agriculture commissioner or the attorney general. But for some reason, there were more undervotes. Fewer people voted in Broward County for Senate than they voted for agriculture commissioner, than they voted for state CFO, than they voted for attorney general, and then they voted for governor. The governor one is a little understandable. But when you start looking at the pattern, it makes absolutely no sense, and it certainly looks like it's bad ballot design. And this is something that Republicans and Democrats kind of can get behind because it shows that the office of Broward County's election supervisor, Brenda Snipes, has just kind of repeatedly stepped on a rake, so to speak, had numerous mishaps in elections, just revisit the office over and over and over again. So probably by the time this is all over, once the vote counting is done, whoever the next governor is, or Governor Scott himself, are probably going to suspend Brenda Snipes from office. There's a growing amount of Republicans who are saying this, and even some Democrats privately. They kind of had enough of Broward being the epicenter of elections meltdown.
Why? I mean, is it just because of her? Is that why Broward is always an issue?
That's a good question. Her predecessor, Miriam Oliphant, in 2003, was removed from office by Governor Jeb Bush for botching the 2002 Democratic gubernatorial primary. So it appears that Brenda Snipes, if we assume it's been part of an ongoing pattern, has sort of inherited this. The problem is that under Snipes, these problems haven't really been fixed. You've had a number of lawsuits as of late, and just in the past year, where she's lost a lawsuit against the Republican Party of Florida because of the way she handled absentee ballots, basically opening them up in secret and tallying them before the canvassing board could review them.
Well, that's weird.
She lost a lawsuit against Tim Canova, the candidate against Debbie Wasserman Schultz in 2016 and this year. It was in the 2016 race. He wanted to inspect ballots. She tried to charge him tens of thousands of dollars merely to look at them. Then once they had negotiated a price down, she destroyed the ballots, which was illegal.
What?
And so this just keeps happening and keeps happening and keeps happening. Now, you played a clip earlier from Governor Scott, who's complaining about Brenda Snipes' incompetence. Incidentally, the Florida Constitution gives and gave the governor the right to suspend any constitutional officer from office for incompetence. Yet Governor Scott had not acted, and now, potentially, that inaction on his part might come back to haunt him.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad we had you on, Mark, to explain this to us, because I think we would have been lost otherwise. Steve Kornacki